Okay, hopefully this is the last part, coming up on the top of the hour and 10 minutes here. The C chord gives us all the arpeggio, uncut arpeggio. If we're going to play the half diminished, it is going to be, and these fret things that I make are made for discussion purposes. There's no real special reason why you would want to put the half diminished with the root. You might want to put it with the Dorian because it shares notes with the Dorian way up here. Okay, so here's 2 second or 2 7 half diminished 2. The purple notes in this box, D, R, okay, and G4. 4 is the tip off. 4 is the parent major of Dorian, the second minor. Okay, the Dorian shape here, right, the parent shape is G, the Dorian shape is 1 pentatonic scale lower than that, so it's E minor shaped. Alright, the root is just shown because it doesn't interfere with Dorian, so don't worry about it, but it just so happens that the parent of the Dorian is the 4th, so that's part of the tripentatonic scale. I didn't mention the 5th here because it's only involved with the root and the minor that is the relative minor of the 4th. So I changed this to be a dipentatonic box like that. It makes sense to look at the half diminished as part of that Dorian, because if you add the 6, so the Dorian is important for the Dorian to have its 6th because it's 2, 4, 6. Okay, but if you just add that 6 and keep the 6 and add the 7th, you're getting yourself a nice 7 dominant 7, a 7/7, like that. So that's why it pays to list those things together on the same fretboard. Just want to mention that if it shares too many notes with something, it's not a good idea to list it. If you'll notice that the half diminished did share a bunch of notes with that Dorian, so that's why I don't list. Let's say I don't list the Ionian with the Aeolian because they share too many notes, and you can't tell the two apart if you're trying to do an arpeggio. So let's go over here a minute. Okay, we're going to look at both of these. We'll look at this one first. Now we've got an A shape. Next in the caged hierarchy, we've got C and we've got A. We're going to get our A-shaped Ionian. Alright, what do we got here? 5 root 5. Well, that's not really, that's not really saying much. It's almost a second inversion. It's not bad because you get kind of mushed down here if we went to the 3rd, wherever that is. And then, but we do have 5 root 3 right here on these 3 strings here, then 3 up to 5. That's a nice chord there. So that's our A shape right there with the 5 on top. We get these 3 here, okay, and then bar this somehow. I'm having difficulty with this, but if I put the bar there and we make pretend we're playing like a, no, I don't think I'm going to do that. Anyway, I can arpeggiate the chord. Da, 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 da. That's a nice second inversion with a root on top. Alright, so that's what you're getting when you play your A. Let's say an open A. Key of A, key of A. attempt at the key A while balancing a guitar. I didn't want to get into too many jazz chords there. But key of A is, second inversion. So when you play in what I call the key of caged, C, key of A, key of C, key of A, key of G, key of B, key of D. Really, there's so much temptation to just play guitar and enjoy it. And a lot of people claim that that's more important than what we're doing right now. I beg to differ. I used to play like that, I found for me in life it just became more, it had to make more sense to me. I had to get down on paper, down on computer, whatever. Let's look at, so the bar is here, all right, for the A. So we're getting that 5, we're getting that root on the bass. Those aren't terrible chords to hit, with the bar. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Now, it's important to know on this particular diagram, at this particular lesson, that we are not necessarily going to bar the half diminished where we're barring the Ionian A shape. Are you going to call this a A-shaped half diminished? Well, guess what? Ionian and half diminished are very close in the pentatonic structure, because not that C is the parent of half diminished, but it's in between C and its relative minor. It's right in between. So it's a good idea for that reason to list them together. So could we call this an A-shaped? Well, let's take the R down, let's take the 5 down, and let's take the 3 down. So right here we have us a little chord here. See, you're just taking them down one scale member. It's not one chromatic. It's down one scale member. 3 to 2, R to 7. Okay, and root always goes a half step to the 7th, right? So that's good. So I'd say it's a good idea in this case to bar it in the same place, and you'll just bar it and play the 7 and the 4. Alright, so where are we? In the 5th, we're going to bar the same thing, play the 7, and we're going to play the 4. Okay? I can tell you right now that 5 doesn't need to be played. You can replace it by a 6. Okay, and just... Okay, I'm not going to play that chord right now, but it suffices to say that how are we going to assign a shape to our B half diminished, to our 7th half diminished? Here we have an A shape, so this could be an A shape because it's simply A minus. Alright, so in the A box, let me show you something. Okay, here we have chart 61. Alright, so we start in an A shape. We're going to go C minor, it goes up a pentatonic scale. C minor 2nd, D minor shaped 3rd, D shaped 4th, E shaped 5th, G minor shaped 6th, and this is the 7th. In the A shape. We were just looking at that, where we were going to bar the 2 and the 4. Here's the 7 and the 4, and we're going to hit the 6 because the 5th doesn't sound as good. The 6th is the 7th of the B half diminished. So it's really an A minus there. So it's kind of an A shape. A minus and A are very close.